When I was coming to college and looking at schools and trying to decide, every single school I looked at, I looked to make sure they had a volleyball team and a volleyball club. So I knew that I wanted volleyball to be a part of the school that I can be involved in through club and also watch competitively through the varsity team. But I didn't plan on playing competitively. It was something I had decided pre-pandemic that I wasn't going to do. And because of the pandemic, I kind of changed my mind. So not completely. I wanted it to be an option to be able to play in college if that was something that I decided I wanted to do. And it wasn't until I went to a preseason game for the volleyball team, like 1 week into classes, and I watched them play. And from the stands, I knew I wanted to be on that court with them. I first got involved with volleyball here by going to the volleyball clubs, which was a once a week on Sundays, 2 hours co-ed, really relaxed kind of playing. And then I became friends with two of the other members, Emily and Alex, and we went to the going together, and Emily told me about how she was going to try to walk on and try out for the team, which I didn't really know was an option, and so I was like, I want to do that too. And that was right when they were switching coaches, and so I couldn't really reach out to the coach that was there now because he was leaving. So I waited, and then I think I emailed Coach Erin, and we set up a time to meet in person, which was when I first met her, and I really, really liked her, and I really wanted her to be my coach. It was playing with the girls for that first week was a little intimidating just because it had been a while because of COVID where I've been on a competitive team like that where it's indoors and not grass volleyball. So it was intimidating, and especially because I didn't really know where I lined up skill-wise with them just because my only volleyball then was once a week at volleyball club. But they were all so nice, and they were all so sweet, and they welcomed me into their locker room, and they walked me through their warm-up, and the coaches kind of planned the week to be drills that I didn't have to know everything about in order to participate. So it was really welcoming, and I was really glad that I got that 1 week because I knew it wasn't something that a lot of people get. And when I found that I wasn't going to be getting a spot on the team, instead I got a manager spot, which I was very excited about because I knew the other managers and they were really, really sweet. It was a bummer because it felt like my last chance to play volleyball competitively. But again, the coaches and the players were such amazing people that I was glad that I still had a way to be a part of the team and have a role. My sophomore year doing volleyball club and managing was really fun because I got to both play and be a part of the competitive environment in a more relaxed way where it wasn't super time consuming. It was always, every practice, every game I traveled with them, or every game I worked book for them, I went home wanting more and more badly to be on the team with them because it was really fun to watch, and I'm so glad I got the opportunity to be a manager, but I wanted to play. In the spring, I had a month where I was a practice player on the team, which was kind of introduced really casually to me, just hey, can you make sure you're cleared so you can practice with the team for the spring, which I did not do a very good job at containing my excitement when I found out that I got to practice with them again. I kind of came to the own conclusion in my mind that it was because we were very low on numbers with having multiple dual sport athletes and our graduating seniors. But I was really excited because it was another chance I didn't think I would get for a month, maybe a little bit more, of being able to practice with a competitive team and then play with them in their spring season tournament. And it was really fun. The practices were really fun. I got to work hard, play volleyball multiple days a week, feel even more connected with the team. I started hanging out with them more outside and really felt like I was building really good bonds with the team and having fun. And even in that short month, I could feel myself improving skill-wise and feeling more confident on the court with that group of girls. That last practice was when I found out I was going to be on the roster in the fall. And leading up to it, just because it was so close to the end of spring season, I had kind of convinced myself that I wasn't going to get a spot. I think part of that is because it would be easier to go from thinking I'm not getting a spot to getting one than from thinking I'm getting a spot to not getting one, especially since I went through all of that already last year. And so I had, of course, a lot of people asking me on the team and my family members about whether or not I was getting a spot, and I always told them no, I was just practicing for this month because I didn't want to get my hopes up. And then, like I said, the closer we got to the end, I thought less and less that I was going to make the team. And then our very last practice, I got sent on a little quest in the middle of our warm-ups. Like, as I was on the court, I was told to go into the next building to go and sign something. So I run over there because I don't want to miss warm-ups. Turns out there's nothing to sign. And then I run back, and when I get back into the gym, it's empty. And I don't really know what to do because I had no idea the team was going to just disappear. And then Coach Erin comes in through the opposite side, and she has the scariest face I've ever seen in my life from Coach Erin, and she said that we were having a team meeting in the locker room, which I thought was weird because there's just so many other spaces we could have had a team meeting and not in our locker room. And then when I walked in there, everyone was sitting facing me, and Alex, one of our managers, was in there, which kind of threw me off a little bit. And Coach Iz was standing with her arms like this and had her phone tucked, and she films everything. So I was like, it kind of looks like she's filming. And so, but I still tried to keep the mentality of I'm not going to be on the team. And then Coach Erin starts to give her speech, which is posted on the Instagram. And the way that she spoke made it sound like somebody or some people on the team messed up really bad or did something to make her really, really upset. And at that point, I was just, there's no way I'm on the team. She's upset. She's not going to be looking for anybody new, especially in a group of girls that she apparently is so upset with. And then it took a complete 360, and she turns to me and says, I don't remember exactly what she said, but telling me I have a spot on the roster, and they open up one of the lockers, and there's the number 7 jersey hanging there, and one of the teammates likes to make memes of people, and there was a meme made of me hanging in the locker. I had my name magnet on the locker, and I got really emotional and started crying because I was so happy, and I've had like this feeling of relief that I like finally made it, and I was where I wanted to be. I got what I had been working towards for so long, and then I got a really big group hug, and I was really excited, and then we had to continue practice, so I had to kind of collect myself, and then I don't think I stopped smiling for like a week after that, and it was a really fun practice because it was just this entirely different feeling that I didn't really notice how much I was trying to disconnect myself from the team for, and finally feeling like the spot and the space I was taking up on the court belonged to me and I wasn't just borrowing it. And then the really special moment was afterwards when I got to tell my mom and my dad and my grandma and my brother. And my dad and I really, really bond through volleyball. That's like one of our biggest connection pieces. We've had hours and hours long talks about it. So it was really good to kind of feel that connection building again. It felt really weird when I first stepped onto the court for the first competitive match. It felt weird like putting on a jersey again, and weird in a good way, of course, but it just felt kind of like this new feeling of this new environment, but also taking me back to all those years of volleyball that I played. And I was nervous about being nervous. I was nervous leading up to it. But the second that first whistle blew and I was starting, I think, in the middle position, it felt like that's where I was supposed to be, even though that's kind of corny. It felt really comfortable being on that court.